I've always been terrible with directions. My parents never taught me left from right when I was little, so I blame them. But regardless of how well I follow maps or turns or the voice of a GPS, for me, there are places that exist beyond normal spatial cues. The visual is important, but there are other signposts along the way to pay attention to. Quiet sounds, capturing taste, remembering the way a place smells, a particular tactile sensation. After driving for what seemed like days through the desert, the buildings and signs of civilization were a welcome sight. For that brief period of time driving into town, I was snapped back into the real world, only to have that security taken away minutes later. When I remember to, I try to saturate myself in an experience, to pause and focus on the small picture, not the big. Overly curious at my best, overly cautious at my worst. Looking back, I felt an overwhelming amount of discomfort here. I ignored all my basic needs, a good night's sleep, comfortable clothes, the feeling of warmth, proper meals, drinking enough water, yet I still had a good time. While I've been notorious for getting lost, I remind myself that it's not my fault here. If I relied only on the visual, who knows where I'd hope to be.
She's leaving now 'cause I just heard the slamming of the door. Oh, way I know I've heard it slam.
Nature is grounded in sporadic signs, here and there. There's nudity wherever I go, artificial or otherwise.
It has windows.
I'm feeling frisky. What about you guys?
While everything around me seems to be changing, time does not. I feel like I'm stuck in a loop, reliving the same hour over and over, some sort of temporal anomaly. Drinks are free. The concept of money really doesn't mean anything anymore. Here, I'm never quite sure if I'm indoors or outdoors at any point. There's a fake street when you look down, a fake sky when you look up, an entire artificial universe constructed inside giant buildings of marble and glass, built with money from the losers. Worse still, thinking you're safe inside when a gust of cold wind reminds you otherwise. Smoking outside, smoking inside, ash on the carpet, drinking anywhere and everywhere. Here, it's just as busy at 4 a.m. as it is at noon, and the sounds of winter are just as pleasing as the morning itself. The rules are just as disorienting as the structures. A few miles on either end of me, and it's just desert again. Even the wildlife I encounter seems obsessed with consumption.
And tell her customer.
More than once, I'd stop, look around, and think, where the hell am I? It didn't matter which casino I was in, where I was eating, where I was walking to. I couldn't rely on just one sense. I needed the architecture. I needed the sounds and the lights and the tastes to finally realize it was an ultimate amalgamation of cultures. My body was in sensory overload the entire time. Leaving, I had never been so happy to finally go back to my painfully quiet life.